All right. I don't know why it's down. I've never seen that.
Yep.
Should I click on that?
Yep.
Oh, spotlight for everyone. I don't know what that means. I like this one meeting. Try it. Cool. Yeah, you play with it. Seriously.
You can be all right.
Okay, so we're recording. Can our guests hear us? Teresa, can you hear us? Teresa?
Yes.
Green? Yes, great, thank you. Can you see us? We're
Yes.
so new at, okay, perfect, because we're so new at this, we're fumbling around, so thank you for being patient. All right, Peter, you want
Okay.
to finally begin?
Yep.
Okay.
Welcome to guests. Topic would be the rooster.
The rooster.
Roosters.
Roosters, plural, okay. So, anybody have anything new to talk about?
Do you know if the animal control officer went in the fact if they've done signs?
Good question. Who has the minutes? Because the minutes will tell us who's going to contact the animal control.
Sorry, I don't do post office.
So. Contact, all right, contact barn inspector, cost me. I did not contact the barn inspector.
I talked to Alan Greenberg of River Health, are sharing one with Northborough.
Okay,
Or Diana something, I forget it.
so we're sharing.
You know, whether she be willing to come out here for this problem, I have no idea.
Okay,
They are accepting resumes right now for barn inspector here in town.
oh, okay. Did you? Yeah.
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 I don't know.
I don't, no, I don't. So. You know, he's trying to buy the,
You just can't expect them all.
Zach, get a chance to contact the police department about what a noise is.
did not. I thought we were going to. Different.
Section, okay,
Ready to file.
okay, yep. Contact the board of health, the general opinion of the rooster, Peter Haas, actually, you can the board of health. Oh, board of health, were you able to
Yeah, I contacted them, but they didn't give me any.
help feedback?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, Peter and Jane, you were going to continue to contact the animal control officer. Has anybody got a hold of Kevin or trying to follow up on that too? Or no one's talked to Kevin since?
I didn't know that I was listed for that.
Okay.
Well, sorry, but
No, that's okay.
I've been in physical therapy.
That's fine now. We're all busy. Okay, so Mr. and Mrs. Green, how are things with the rooster at your house? Is it less noisy?
No,
No, it's exactly the same. Okay. All right. That's unfortunate. Sorry to hear that you're still unhappy.
So in our last meeting, we talked about the grandfathering in. I did some research and it doesn't appear that they would be grandfathered in. The grandfather clause is only for, it has to be,
Written in.
it has to be written in and approved for them. So
So that's good news for you.
any bylaw that we write will
Affect them.
affect them.
thank you. No, to my understanding, has anyone contacted Sullivan to see if he went to number 18? Because that's where all of the noise is coming from these days.
Okay.
No.
No, we haven't been able to get a hold of Kevin, but we'll continue to try.
Thank you.
So now you think the problem is not 19, which was the original problem. Now you think it's 18.
Well, that's what we're, right, and it's been verified by the people living at number 20 as well.
Has anybody actually gone over there that lives in the neighborhood, knocked on their door, a friendly neighborhood knock and said, how you doing? What's going
No.
on?
No, I think I told you, we've been living here 40 years. We've never seen a human being at that home.
Yeah, Kevin reported that last time we were able to get a hold of him, he said he hasn't been able to find them either.
Correct. Even the people at 20 say they never see people living there at all, whether they work nights or something different, but they never see people in the yard.
So if they have animals and no one ever sees people at all, then shouldn't you call maybe like, ASPCA, MSPCA, and complain that their animals aren't being taken care of?
I don't know that for a fact.
I mean, but I would think that if nobody ever sees him and nobody's able to contact them, the neighbors can't contact them, Kevin can't contact them, then you would step it up a notch rather than it being a noise issue. This is actually
Well,
probably
that's why I said
an
the barn
animal,
inspector.
an animal care issue that should be addressed by, the Massachusetts SPCA. I mean, so if I were you, Teresa, or Mr. and Mrs. Green, that would be my next step, is to find out who's caring for these animals. And they would certainly get the attention they deserve.
Did we mail 18 anything or just 19?
Just 19, because we thought it would be easier to tackle one problem at a time, because it seems as though 19 right now is it's not a major issue, no longer a major issue. So now it's 18, okay, so now it's 18 is the problem.
Hmm.
Okay. Do you have any other recommendations for the Greens as far as what they can do?
Until we get a file.
Until we get in touch with Kevin or the barn,
Or the future barn inspector, okay.
or, well, get in touch with the Northborough barn inspector who's supposed to be coming down here to do inspections.
Okay. So how did you get a hold of them? By calling Northborough or calling?
I talked to Alan Greenberg.
I don't.
He's the vice chair of the Board of Health.
Oh, okay. All right. So they're sharing the Board of Health since we're sharing. Okay. Okay. All right. So we can still follow up with Kevin. We can still follow and we can continue to get a hold of barn inspection. All right, barn inspector through do you have to contact her through the Board of Health?
You have to call. From what I understand, let me try to get. I'll text Alan.
All right.
When are they reviewing the applicants?
He said not too long, but, you know,
My guess is they don't have any.
Yeah.
Because it was posted.
Okay.
Well, we better have somebody vote.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so it sounds like now we need to work on number 18, find a way to contact number 18, and that's 18 Daniels Farm Road,
Neck Hill Road.
Neck Hill Road. Okay. But
We authorize that, can we send registered letters? Have we money, right?
we don't have any money now.
So it's the Board of Health
So
essentially.
it would be it has to be, we're here to mediate and to get the ball rolling. We don't have money to do any of this stuff. We can still recommend to the Greens to continue with the barn and with the Board of Health and tell them that you want the barn inspector to inspect the conditions of number 18. And I would actually,
Board of Health, I think it's here.
and I would also contact the Massachusetts MSPCA and tell them that there are unattended animals that you never see anybody feeding them, and they'll get attention like right away.
But I'm not going to say I've never seen anybody feed them. What I'm saying is when we pass by, whether it's on foot or in a vehicle, we just don't see people there. But I'm not going to go so far as to say that the animals are not being fed.
But if you don't, okay, but if you don't see people there, how do you know they're being taken care of?
We
Because
don't.
they're alone.
We don't.
You don't, so I'm just saying, you could put a friend, I mean, I'm just making suggestions.
No, I understand, but I would have thought that, well, when Mr. Sullivan went over, he could have at least looked at the animals to just give it an eyeball.
He can't go in their backyard. He can't go in their backyard
Whereas
unless he's
the animal
invited.
inspector can and the
Right,
MSPCA.
The MSPCA can, and I believe the barn inspector can, if he, you know, walk out, he could take a look. So those are two routes that I would recommend you're taking.
And who is the bond inspector? So if we get in touch with him.
Well, that's what I'm trying to find out right now is how to get in touch
okay.
with them.
So
Okay.
I believe we're supposed to go through the Board of Health to contact them.
Perhaps, but they're also probably going to be listed on the Northborough. We're sharing, I understand, with Northborough's barn inspector. So you might be able to get in touch with them through the Northborough Board of Health or the Mendon Board of Health.
Well, we have tried sending emails to the Board of Health, Tom
Well,
Fitchner in Mendon, and we've had no luck. We've no response or anything.
Okay, then we'll follow up on that also. That's something that we can help you with. Definitely help you follow up with the Board of Health and get in touch with the barn inspector.
Okay.
All right, we can definitely do that. All right, so, all right, anything else about the Winnie's particular problem that we can?
Well, now we're gonna review the petition.
Okay.
Do you have a copy?
Sure, I know I sent it out. You guys way back in the text. Let's see if we can. Yeah. No, I don't have that. I don't think I have it. Let's look in the text messages. Let's look in the text messages. I don't know it's there. Reservation. No, so like now would are. We should invite John when I get to meeting too. I do have his phone number.
Okay. Yeah, we get it tonight. Well,
It's gotta be one of the past.
no. Oh, I appreciate it. We're just trying to get
That's
this
text message.
resolved.
Like I said, I'll jump to the other board members.
I don't know what the message is.
All right, all right.
Exactly, on, then the government,
All right, thank you.
and bring up the warrant.
Bye-bye.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Oh, forgot about it.
Sound it?
You'll,
What's the date of the, we had, well, I don't know.
Alan will get back to me with that number, just so,
Okay, perfect.
if not tonight, tomorrow.
So let's see if I get as far as we could.
For what?
We did, I know I sent a copy of the petitions, so we could look at the wording. And I can't find it now.
I'm gonna read it out loud.
Sure.
Yeah. Or if you can copy, paste and send it too. And then we can read it out loud. I'd love to have it again as a copy. That'd be nice. That way I can print it out. when I get home.
Well, one came with the paper this week.
Oh, did it? I didn't think to bring it. Did you just send it? Okay, perfect. Ah, there we go. All right. Want to read it? And then we can all,
Follow along.
yes.
Okay. Do you want me to just start with notwithstanding?
Just the body of the,
Okay.
The whole thing, to see if the town will vote.
See if the town will vote to amend article something of general bylaws of the town by inserting therein a new section 2A as follows. Notwithstanding the foregoing, no person shall keep a rooster or roosters on a parcel of land less than 3 acres in a residentially zoned area of the town. Violation hereof may be punished by a fine of up to 200 for each day of violation. Or take any other action in relation thereto to be enforced by animal inspector.
Oh, really? By the animal inspector. Okay,
I
so,
don't think the animal inspector could find.
no, I think the board of health can fine, but I don't believe the animal inspector can fine.
Yeah.
that's a good question. I'm kind of scribbling this out.
I mean, because I thought the animal inspector fills out that little big sheet and then they hand it into the Board of Health. Right. But they can't say, hand me $200.
Make a recommendation.
Right. I don't think the Board of Health can. I think they would have to go through the 100%.
Board of Health. Same lines. See it.
So, in a residentially zoned area of town, so how is our town zoned still as residential, agricultural?
Residential.
Also,
Combination, or is it
Yes.
singly done?
nope,
So
combination.
it's a combo of residential, agricultural. Okay, because I know every time we do one of these master plans, it never happens because we don't get enough people volunteering for those master plan things. Okay, violation.
And therein lies the problem with this is since. it-
Okay, well, I have the first problem, I think, is more of a, so I think we need to talk and talk about our feelings about this and what we're going to do about it, if anything, and then lay a plan of how to tackle it. So who wants to go first and talk about what we should do?
Peter, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking it's an isolated incident. I don't want to see laws changed for isolated instances.
I feel the same. I feel the same way, but I think it's a neighbor problem that you can get just a couple bad neighbors and then things escalate and can ruin it for a lot of people. That's unfortunate that does happen, where we have good neighbors and bad neighbors. So we had heard about this months ago. I think we could have probably tackled it a lot easier. And it would have been over a pretty lot quicker. Unfortunately, then it's the kind of town where we don't communicate really well from one department to another. That hopefully we can improve, we can all improve on that. So I think that's good. So not to speak for all of us, but I would like to do two things. I would like to find out how we can amend this when it hits the floor. And then also vote it down. Because if it does pass,
then we get
it
our
would be,
version.
it would be a better version of this. And if it doesn't pass, I think we would all be a lot better off with this being handled on individual cases rather than having it be a bylaw.
And I think part of the problem with this case is that we did not have an animal inspector.
Right,
That
and we,
could have
and we,
gone out.
and we didn't have a barn inspector either, or
Yeah.
without, so this happened during COVID when communication was really poor with everybody. I mean, I was having meetings virtually for the, the Arts Council, and it was difficult, so I mean, communication was an issue. So I think our plan, I think that should probably be our plan, is to modify this and then vote it down. So I want the Greens to understand, we're not doing this.
We're not against what you're
Trying.
what you're trying to
Your
do.
problem. We're not against your problem. We want to solve your problem, but we don't think it's the right way of going about it by making a bylaw about roosters. We think it's, and we're gonna go, we also,
Excuse us?
did you
My
have a
husband-
comment?
Yes, my husband just said, well, nothing so far has worked for us in the past year. So we're just looking at some way to get someone's attention that this
Right,
needs to be,
right.
this needs to be
And-
addressed. And it's not
But I-
being addressed within anyone,
But I
I
thought
have
you
to,
said, it was
I
my
have-
understanding though, Teresa, that you said things had improved significantly with number 19.
well, Correct. Number 19 had 3, now he's down to 1. But again, we said from the very beginning, that you can't differentiate one neighbor over another. That number
Well-
18 has been a problem all along. And for
Right, but we
whatever
had-
reason, no
but
one
we-
can get in touch with him.
Right, but we also told you we were gonna tackle one household at a time. And so we haven't even, we're just beginning to get around to the other homeowner. So I think,
Is
So
my-
that's what I'm
Are you trying
saying.
to say that you've been in touch with number 19?
that we,
You said you were
19, yeah.
tapped.
well, 19,
Well, we've been in touch with Kevin, who's gone over there.
we've been in
Right,
touch with
right,
Board of
right,
Health, we've
right.
been in touch with the select board, we've been in touch with Kevin. Kevin understands how important it was. He got rid of 2 of the 3 of the roosters. And so we feel that we've started the communication with everyone, with all of those people involved, with you and with number 19 and with the appropriate people to control this. So we feel like we're doing our job and it's starting to work. And we would love it if you could be more patient. And you know, and I understand your frustration level. And now that we're just beginning to try to tackle the next home, it might take us a month or 2, but no more than that.
And with 18, nobody being able to find them, we did just find who our barn inspector is at the time, and that he's the only one or she is the only one that can go there in the yard.
And actually go
So-
into there with no one present.
Tomorrow, we will have her number. We can contact her and have her go over there.
So I mean, we do have a plan in place. We just need time to execute it. And then for you to see if that's satisfactory or not.
I appreciate it. And, I know we're the only ones that really voice our opinion. And then in the last meeting, the neighbors from 4 Daniels went there. But there are other people, like the people that live at number 20 have sent emails and they've made phone calls to the police department as well about this problem. So it's not only our problem, it's a
No,
neighborhood.
no,
It's
realize
it's a
that.
neighbor,
No,
it's
it's
a
not.
neighborhood
Right.
problem. It's a neighborhood problem.
Right.
Because one bad neighbor can
Ruin it.
ruin it for everybody. Absolutely.
And that's just what we're faced with.
And we realize that and we understand that and we're just asking for a little more time to solve this problem. I mean, we came in kind of late on this. We feel we came in late on this. And we would just like a little more time to work things out. And we don't, it just takes
Even if it
time.
gets voted down, we'll still,
Right.
we're still gonna.
We're still going to work on this problem, whether
Oh,
or not
yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
the petition,
We
but,
Okay,
We
so let's
appreciate
get back- Okay, so let's get back to the wording of the petition. So the plan is,
We haven't got an opinion.
uh,
Everybody's gonna get.
yes,
Refer to my notes. So I agree. I feel like it's an isolated incident and we shouldn't act too quickly. That we should, on each basis act. And there are a lot of issues, as we've all mentioned, with the way the petition is written.
yes.
So, I mean, I think we have to bring it up to the, that one, it goes against the right to farm bylaw. So that's one instance that it, really shouldn't pass. If it does pass, we can definitely amend it, but I feel like it shouldn't even go as far as to pass because it totally goes against the right to farm bylaw.
Right, and it should be, right, and I also feel it should have been written referring to the Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 40A, Section 1A. That
and
refer-
SUV or something like
Right,
that.
so I mean, it should actually refer to, it should refer to things properly.
But also, there is a site under Mendon Gov's thing about getting a petition that has been agreed, put on the, what is it, the town?
So I believe we can amend it before it goes into.
You can get it removed.
Yes,
before
this
it
piece of
even
paper,
comes
we
up
have to
for a
figure out,
vote.
where do we get
I
that?
can get on.
You can get it online? I think we should do that, and then we should really start hammering out how we're gonna change the wording. So just,
Well, also, I think we need to approach the selectmen about noise pollution in this town, because it is happening more
And
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 more.
that's I think that's on our agenda, something we have to talk about tonight too, is I think we're all playing at the select board, they're expecting us. I don't have the date off, 27th, so we're going to the 27th.
Man,
Yes, and so we're all gonna go on the 27th because they want to also hear, what we've been doing, what our opinion is on this and what we can do to help. So, yeah, I mean. Was it Mike?
Mike Maroli.
Mike Maroli emailed me to town and said, please call me. And so I did call him right away. And, we talked and he said he feels, and he's the select board, he felt the select board felt that this was a noise issue and not worthy of a bylaw. But he also said citizens are certainly welcome to write petitions, they have every right to do that. And if it goes into law, it goes into law. He also said if it's written, any bylaw that's written to go to the state, I don't know, for lack of a better word, the state attorney or something, and they have to review the wording to make sure it's legal. That's why that's one of the things that upsets me the way this is written is because of the section 1 that says that you can grow your own food. You can do this, and this. And I think that
Yeah, the state would probably.
that's an
Kick it
issue.
back at us.
That's a legal issue when you're a right to farm state and a right to farm community. So, because it does say that keeping and raising of poultry, swine, cattle, and other domestic animals used for food purposes. So,
Well, that's why we have to find out
and
whether
also
these people at
right,
18 are using it
for
for
food
food.
person, or if it's a pet.
Yeah, if
and
it's a
ju-
pet,
just- right, so. And then also in the other section, section 3, it says that you can do this on 2 acres of land. So that's another issue, the way that this is written. So my question is, do we want to come around tonight with this? Or do we want to have another meeting?
When would we have another meeting?
okay, so their meeting though is in
7th.
next Wednesday.
So we need to
So,
figure this out.
yeah,
I think we're all pretty much in what's going to meeting. I think we all want to debate it.
Yeah.
I'd rather see 2 acres.
Right. So it says, where is it? Here we go.
Why this town has never set up
Or
noise
of
pollution.
2 acres. Parcels of less than, so it has to be less than 2 acres, so that would be something that we could have to change, 2 acres.
But the initial problem is that it was zoned, residential agricultural,
Yeah.
but we're not going to.
But if you have 2 acres or less than 2 acres, and you back up to open land, or you're not causing a problem. why
Right.
should you-
All right, so notwithstanding the foregoing, no person shall keep a rooster or roosters on a parcel of land less than 2 acres.
Personally, I like that. Rather than an acreage, more of a distance
A buffering
of, like, I think we said 240 feet.
foot
is,
feet
is-
from any.
I have no idea what, I'm. not
Because there's so many
distances.
pencil lots. 500 feet away from the nearest.
Right, so I'm bad with visuals and with spatial things and footage and inches and all that. How, like, if we're sitting here, where's 240 feet?
The football field.
Is it-
Football field's 300 feet.
So even though so this is my problem with that though, is because, so I have 8 acres. And but my parcel is long and narrow. So anywhere I put my chickens on when I had chickens, it would not have been 240 feet from my nearest abutters.
Well, your butters, residents, not their property, but their,
But they're.
So we
they're
have
right.
it right in front. So, all right, so, okay, so you want it as 240. Okay, so let's play with that.
From a butter's domicile.
it's being other laws. It's
Huh?
like firearms, you can't shoot 500 feet.
Right.
Those-
Well, that's what
Okay,
a domicile.
so how wide, so if you took a square, say you had a perfectly square middle and knock it at 240 feet and what's that? None of the visual first, I can't imagine where,
Well, then you got your next lot, if he isn't centered, if he's on
Right.
your side, then you're forced to the other side at 240 feet. So an acre's,
really good football.
no, I don't think that's effective. 240 feet is pretty fine. You're not gonna have
Do you
a group of chickens and
that
have.
dwelling? I mean, the noise.
Yeah, I
decibel?
think I still have my say.
So what a telephone pole is like. If, yeah, it's 200 feet high.
So I don't like the 240 too, because we do have irregular lots. That's, so I think that, where's it, I don't know, it disappeared. I don't have it anymore. I know I had it, and I handed it out, and it came back.
The decibels are,
But you can look it up.
you know, if you're in a pool.
You can look up any of those things if you Google noise, you can Google those.
Okay, a square, an acre is 43,560 square feet. I think even on an acre, it should be getting 40 feet from something.
You think 240 feet is good?
200 by 200 is 40,000.
That's a lot size, maybe. Yeah, we can-
So, and you gotta set back 100 feet.
You have the chickens under your,
Yeah,
If
they can
if
do
you
that.
say that, then you're gonna measure it in your neighbor's house, and if he's so many feet from us. Yeah,
So,
I don't
if-
like the feet.
all right, you don't like the fee, because if you did want the fee, it have to be, no person shall keep the pigs or roosters on less than keep rooster or roosters less than 240 feet from a butter's dwelling. That's what it have to be. So, so that's one option. Another option would be no person shall keep a rooster or roosters on a parcel of land less than 2 acres.
but again, 2 acres long and narrow. And I mean,
Right, but if, right,
well, homes have to be 80 foot from each property line.
right.
So that's only 160
So,
feet.
so this is 2 acres and your house is here, and your neighbor's house is here, and your rooster's way back
Oh,
there.
yeah,
That
but-
could work, that
But
could
it
work.
has,
So yes, there's gonna be drawbacks no matter the way it's written. So it's either the 240, it's a noise issue, which makes it hard for a lot of people, or 2 acres, which is gonna eliminate a lot of the smaller stuff. I don't know which way we want to go when we go to town meeting to amend it,
but at 2 acres also, they could say, oh, I'm raising it for food. Huh?
I don't think they can. And
That's
you
the
have
law.
to- That's not, right to farm bylaws, it only protects commercial
No, that's,
Is that 2 acres?
Only affects commercials.
Give you the- I'm gonna let you read, I'm gonna let you read it and you do your interpretation. This is why lawyers are so lovely. They're lovely people. Because,
I've actually gone to some
yes,
farmer forums and
yes. So exactly.
they've kind of broken
Zach,
that.
you and I are kind
down.
of on the same page. So this is where, this is section 2. So, okay, that's right.
this is the right farmer.
Yes,
What about the mass?
this is Mass. This is section 1 of the Mass 248. This is the second one, where Sears said you have to have this if you're chickens.
Yeah.
Okay, so take the time to read through that.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So while you're speaking legal this, legal that, I think one of the people you were, I thought, going to contact was the town legal expert. Has she been contacted to see what she thought of
No,
anything? No?
We don't have access to the town's legal
Ah.
counsel. We don't. Only the town selectmen have the ability to contact that person.
Okay, thank you.
Pardon?
We know if she'll be at the meeting.
I have no idea.
Yes, the town meeting, yeah. They have
Oh,
no-
at the town meeting, but no, not at the select board, no.
But that, the town,
Did you finish 10?
Yeah, basically, I don't know. It's just really tough because I feel like if we say it one way, it's gonna exclude so many people. And it's just not fair. I don't know the best way.
Right, so, right, you're absolutely right. So people are gonna be excluded, somebody is gonna be excluded. So it's how do we write it to exclude people? And keep them off the very smallest of properties. So basically what we're talking about is our pets. And it's maybe, or adult personal, raised for personal food, so, you know, and.
I think we just moved it.
And we're zoned residential / agriculture. We don't have any area in this town which is totally residential, correct?
I
Yeah.
don't think so. What I understood, the last time I had my house appraised, that's where they ran into a lot of problems.
Right, right. It's like even Millville Street where I live, it's like mixed residential, business, agriculture. It's all mixed. Whole town is mixed.
Yeah,
There's not anything that's.
I mean,
talking about.
if you look at your tax,
I think the only place that's really zoned business is 140 by Popham Court down that way.
and
140, 16 and
Yeah,
half of it.
16 max, so that's definitely business, but I think everything else is residential agriculture still. But anyways, so no person shall keep a rooster or roosters on a parcel of land less than 2 acres. Go that way in a residentially zoned area of the town. We'll see, I think that's wrong too, residentially zoned, because I don't think we're residentially zoned. So I think you would take that out.
I mean, that basically just covers the whole town.
So I think you would have to take it on less than 2 acres, you would omit that. Then, violation here shall may be punished by a fine up to $200 for each day of violation. That's a select board, whether they want to do that or not, I mean, the board of health. Or the other way you write it is no person shall keep a rooster or roosters on a parcel less than, keep rooster or roosters on less than 240 on this would be less than 240 feet from a butter strip. Not really doable.
I think we just do the 2 acres as a backup. And try to. You said,
I personally think we need to go after it as a noise.
Well, I think so too, and I think we should actually vote it down, because I don't think it's written properly, and I don't think it's really written well at all.
So if we're not ready to present it right, then let's not present it. We'll have to carry it on to.
Okay, so when we get to town meeting, you want to
Yeah.
just, you think there's enough people to vote it down?
I think so.
You think so? Okay, so I don't.
I don't think it's to hurt anybody, it's just to have it right.
Just to have it right. Okay, so you want to stand up and voice, when that comes up, you want to stand up and say, you don't think it's written properly, you like to, the agricultural commission would like to have more time to review this, and therefore we are recommending it not be voted.
Yes.
Okay, so let's not even amend this, let's just go right for voting it down. Okay, so it passes.
Hey, we're all in or all out.
Okay, all right, and everybody feels that way? I think this needs to be a kind of a voted on.
Somewhere you could, after the fact gets passed. you-
that's,
No, while you're on the town floor, yes, while you're on the town floor, you can stand up.
So,
Yeah, I did it once before years ago.
if
It
we
was
wanted
a
to
lot
do
of
anything
fun.
else into the next. If it passed, then we,
I mean, the year's not.
yes.
So in the meantime, I think that's why we need to go to the select board and treat it as a noise issue.
Oh, yeah, and I think they're on board with us there too.
Give the poor green
Yeah.
some.
It just depends on what, you're right, I absolutely, the Greens need to have some respite from the noise. And number 18 needs to be tackled next, with whatever means that every which way we can, absolutely we can. And, you know, and I think we need to vote this down, just so it can be written properly to be. But I do think it's a neighbor issue, it should be. Select contacted or Board of Health contacted us when the Greens first had a problem. This is much quicker and better man. All right, so that's,
All right, so that's our official opinion.
so that's our official opinion. We're
Okay.
gonna do nothing, just show up. Next,
Farm information.
yes, Farm Information Day.
Okay,
Um,
well, thank you for voicing your opinion, and we appreciate everything. And Mr. Hawks, you had driven by, and did you, when you drove by, I can't remember if you said you had actually heard the noise or,
I did not hear the noise.
oh, okay.
Not,
I did a drive-by too. I didn't park and stay for any length of time, but when I drove by, I didn't hear anything either.
Okay. And this was during the day, yeah, okay,
Yeah, it
Thank
was during the day. It was during the day after grocery shopping, so.
okay, no, understand, okay. Well,
All right.
Thank you for your efforts.
Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
All right,
farm information,
Farm Information Day. Did we pick a date?
June 11th, I think, right?
That was Saturday or Sunday? What was that?
It's Saturday.
I didn't, yeah. So
June 15th.
Thought it was the 11th.
11th Saturday.
we're doing Saturday or Sunday?
11th.
All right, Saturday, June 11th, which is Saturday. I'm putting my calendar in our farm days.
9 o'clock.
Wonderful.
Oh, it's 9 o'clock, should be late.
I know. And what are we gonna do and where are we gonna do this?
All right, so
We're
we're
gonna
doing it
have
at night.
compost, that's it. Is that your farm? Yep,
Yes.
so you're gonna clean up.
Okay,
Very
so it's
exciting.
3 acres.
Is that what it's called?
That is why you have meetings, you know, to get cleaned up.
Yes, yes. 3 acres.
Watch out for the sinkholes.
Uh,
Following a few there.
Um,
I paved them. Yeah, Justin paved them. Yeah, we broke that, cut that all out. The whole thing.
Or you can come over and cut out my entire driveway.
It's a phone call away.
do we have an agenda? Do we have an agenda for our meeting? Is
Agricultural topics.
Yes, what are we gonna do?
Yep, I'll put the agenda together.
Okay, well, let us
Meet
know.
and greet. Coffee.
Yes, would you like, I think last time I got coffee from, I donated coffee from Dunkin', I got one of those coffee
I
joes.
think I bought
Did
it
you?
at James, yes.
Oh, you did. Maybe we both did.
We did have a lot of coffee. I think it lasted 2 days.
Might have both.
I don't
Really?
know.
All right, so who's gonna do this year?
We'll supply it.
Sure.
We'll supply it. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so get write it down for that, write down Peter coffee.
Oh.
Cream, heavy cream.
Okay, what's your order? Heavy cream, like,
Lots of sugar.
lots of sugar.
So topics that we can talk about, I don't know if, bird flu is still an issue by then. It's
I'm
by,
thinking it's gonna be.
so we could do, I got this off of the MDA. We could maybe do some stuff about biosecurity and fluids, so we can do that. That could be a topic. You know birds, right?
Well, she could speak on it.
She can give us a little, she can be our speaker for fowl, birds and flowers. Yes. Cat, we talk about biosecurity and backyard, anything about backyard flocks. We're gonna put you in charge of that.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Do
Okay.
ducks get bird flu?
Zach, Z-A-C-K. Right?
Z-A-C-H. Z-A-C-H. I don't
You always
know.
did see.
You bring up my,
I do it all the time. My apologies. My brain is. All right, so Zach, you're a llama person. Do you want to do like?
No.
He's gonna do this split off.
Yes, okay. You want to do something, about fiber and they're very popular, you know, people
That
love
would
them.
be
So anything,
wonderful. So,
Could you spin us a blanket? We'll run around.
I used to spit.
oh, I haven't spun in so many years.
So yeah, you want to do alpacas.
Hey, yeah. We'll do that with some pancakes.
Alpacas.
Jane's gonna do horse issues.
Jane, yes, you want to talk about horses in Mendon or horses?
No horse issues, health issues,
Health.
zoning issues.
Just something real general, like for people that want to move here, they think they're gonna have horses.
Wait a minute, this is for agriculture.
They should have, and, you know, just something real general. Because I know people move here and they.
you did a general topic. Mine was very
No,
specific.
you don't have to be specific. All right, why don't you let me call for this? There's nothing left to do.
Oh, bees.
No.
Go to
Yeah, go.
Oh, yes. The bees away real quick. Okay.
But.
Who owns the apiary on Washington Street?
Reverend something, right?
I think he took his fees away, yeah, the guy at the Unitarian Church, he retired, so I think he took them away, actually, I think he did, I'm not sure. I know there's something around here that's. My body again, so.
Again?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah. So I'm not good with fees,
You know what I'd like to contact, I don't know if anybody's seen, but there's a woman doing the co-op or the.
Oh, Annie Parnis.
Annie Parnis, she's doing the
Garden.
seeking.
we'll invite her to come.
Yeah,
She comes every year.
I know she comes.
But she might like to be
She
invited.
might, she might like to be invited, so she can maybe do a flyer or something about the community garden.
I know she's working on a lot of things right
Yeah,
now. And
yeah.
Something,
Yeah,
nice for her.
yeah, okay, yeah.
How about the stewards or somebody on Cemetery Road, I'm seeing there? Trying to do a CSA,
Oh, I had no
it's
idea.
Harry's nephew. Is it number 4? Right on the head of. So,
What's her name again, the CS, the community garden?
Annie Parnis.
Do you want me to get in touch with her, and tell her she can bring flyers or? Yeah,
Right. She's on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah, she's on Facebook.
Yes. Yes.
Whenever she got her tractor.
You guys are good publicity, yeah. Nobody understands wetland until you get buried.
First day I had my tractor.
There you go. So the first day she had her tractor too.
Oh, really?
I got buried.
No, Angie got her tractor stock and he got his tractor stock.
Yeah,
Buried all
and my little tractor went over and pulled his out.
Oh, you're kidding, over at the community garden?
No.
Oh.
From his house. I thought with my big tractor, big tires. All right. That also just there.
They're supposed to fill it with rocks, then put a little soil,
And what are you gonna do, Peter, besides coffee?
just coffee.
Just coffee.
How about
I've
cows?
delegated.
Like advice, maybe.
Some steaks and cows.
Yeah, the farm tour,
Wait, from her?
Couple issues.
Or.
I know down in Connecticut, just to let you guys know, I guess there's a group going around breaking into barns and stuff. And it's not that far down in Connecticut.
I could do basic cheese.
That sounds wonderful.
I can just do a
But you
little,
know,
a little setup. I mean, not really done on it, but yeah. But so much milk, to sell it. I can show people how to make
Yeah.
super simple cheese.
Yeah,
That would be, that's fun. That's something as a hobby. It's fun. It's fun.
so can you do it like the day before, have the finished product, or you're gonna be able to finish it? First cheese right there.
Think about it.
All right.
I no, because if I did the whole cheese right then and there, I would have to have like, I would have to do like. a
Correct, make
ricotta.
it.
Do a ricotta and just, I could do a ricotta right then and there, but I'd have to see if I can still find my heating element that brings stuff to a boil. But, or I can just kind of do a, set it up and then do this is the final product, ta-da. So, yeah.
So there will be some, I mean, there's some national issues going on now, worldwide issues that are gonna affect livestock, even in our little town, feed costs, availability of things, and the avian flu, and things like that, so.
Those are important things. Yeah, food biosecurity, food security.
It's gotta be.
Well, that kind of ties in with people being able to have roosters too. Seriously. You know.
Well, that's why the community garden may be popping this year.
You know, I mean, when I had goats a couple of years ago, one year, the bale of hay from the guy coming down from Canada was locally it was $10 a bale.
It's more now.
So
Sell it for 10.50.
Yeah.
That's the cheapest around.
I couldn't, that's another thing that drove me out. I can't, there's no way I can sell enough goats in order to
So last year I paid,
foot a hay bill.
$15 for a bag of alpaca grain. This year I paid $27.
Yep. It's gonna be,
It's gonna be tough.
shavings, anything, everything touches fuel.
I know, well,
And
that's.
now we're just getting into this vibe.
It's like
Corn.
a bag.
I think that's a topic maybe that might be more interesting to talk about too, is, food security,
It's food security and our own
you know.
feed and bedding
in our
and,
own area.
take care of yourself and buy it a little ahead.
Yeah, that's
For a
important.
long time ago, I said to the select board that we should make this
Why don't I find some information about food security that
where everything is available here in town. And they told me that we never did that. We need it.
So I'll see if I can find some flyers about food security. I'll contact Annie and I'll plan on doing some kind of a cheese and
If I see the stores, they seem to post on the town page or something. But mainly keep this to the agriculture. It's not gonna be, I mean, if some public are saying it's okay, but this is mainly for the
I'll just tell you we're there and should bring flyers. But I'm,
Well, yeah, but this, you know, we should put this like on an amended bulletin board or something on Facebook.
yeah, that we have fun, that as we get closer, yep. Is anybody really good with doing those events on Facebook? I used to, I can go back on if I have to, but I know how to do those.
I could throw a post on the town site.
No, there's actually a way you can create an event.
Yes, you
Right, right.
Yeah, why don't we create an event? I used to do that for Go shows.
Well, to create an event, then we have to, well, I guess we could send an invite on the town page for that event.
Yeah, but also post it on the community board
Yes.
so that as more people go to the community board than they go to the events section.
That's true, that's true. But when you put it on the community board, it disappears. When you have an event, it's
You
like,
go back every day
it's like a
and
stat.
add
It's a
something
stat.
to it,
It's a
and it
stat.
goes back to the front, to the top.
Let's see if we can maybe make some basic flyers and put them at feeds and needs. Library. Make a flyer.
Well, that's the thing about this town is that there's no, like you said, there's no communication between the boards. There's no communication. There's no centralized,
So Zach, you're gonna do Facebook. Yeah, I know this. So you're gonna, okay, so you're
How
gonna
do
do
you say it?
Facebook.
place to
Right.
find
I'll
out
come up with a
stuff.
flyer between, because nobody wants
wants
to
to
buy
do the
everybody
bullshit.
and we can maybe print them out.
Yeah, and then I can post, I can put the flyer on as the.
Oh, yeah, okay, so there's a flyer.
So yeah, the sooner the better. No pressure.
I said, you feel very strong about that.
I hate their
What else is on our agenda?
website.
Anybody else?
That's it. We're back. Done.
Okay, all right, sounds good.
Any other topics?
I think so. Pat wrote them down in the minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, for basic fees.
Any unexpected topics?
Oh, unexpected topic.
Is that the
Yes,
next meeting?
Yes. No, what else? Because I'll forget if I don't say it right now. So one of the things that when we had met with our guests the last time we had met at the library, it came up about that nobody really moves this town. Not everybody knows we're a right to farm community. One of the things that happened when we did the bylaw was that the town didn't want to spend the money to put up signs like other towns did. I'm wondering if we could be creative and find a way to fundraise, which we can, because we can make our own revolving
The only
account.
thing I'm
Back to
thinking
the-
of,
We need the account.
Yes, we can do that. We can do that. Every town, every committee in town now can have a revolving account. But I think it's up to us to actually put money in there, not,
Yeah.
Did you get the town warrant this week?
yeah, you did.
Yeah. Did you see how many millions of dollars it's spending? And you think we can't ask for a couple signs to put on our streets?
well, I think legally, it has to go through the board or the department, highway department.
In order to put a sign up, yes. So I mean, so I'm just bringing this up. I don't know all how to do this, how we're gonna fund it, how to do this, but I think this should be a priority for us.
It's nice to drive into a town and see it.
At the beginning of Route 16,
You
North
know, like-
Avenue between, the main
Snow,
road and North Avenue.
Noise.
Yeah, 140. I mean, there should be a couple places where we have like the nice metal signs or a printed one, who cares? That says Mendon is right to farm community.
I mean, I know we don't have any money or waiting other than fundraising right now, but what could we do to get money for things that we want to do like
That's a
that?
good question. I
Can
don't,
we
yeah.
do a petition to get funding for the Ag Commission?
I feel like there must be a way.
Everybody
to-
else.
Just thinking of like other cities and things like like the lake, you can go to Massachusetts and petition to the state and get money and funding through there. So I wonder if Massachusetts, not just the town,
Oh, yeah.
has money that we can petition for,
That's
like.
good job for
virtual-
you, Kat.
Through United, but through the Massachusetts, there must be Department of Agriculture.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
You know, I have a very good friend. Senator here.
Oh, good. Ask him how to go about doing that.
No, I think go
Farm
through the
Bureau.
DNR.
I don't know, there might be something through the Farm Bureau, maybe not the Farm Bureau.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. So it's something I think that we need to work on over the next several months and see if we can be creative about.
So I think before COVID hit, isn't there like an annual meeting of the right to farm people across the state?
Yeah, it used to be, yeah. Yeah. I went to a couple.
Yeah,
Yeah, we went.
so
to-
that,
one
if
to-
somebody could represent us there,
So. we
well, I
should
think
figure
everything
out-
got put on hold, so we should just.
Yeah, so we need to figure out where the mask, all right, so let's see, I'll research that, I guess. Look into it.
Let's just ask the selectmen next week for 10 grand.
Do that.
Ooh, what do we do for 10 grand?
No, but we're gonna be ready. Gotta stack it, and they'll bring us up a little, so that's right.
Agree at 5.
I was gonna say agree at $200.
No, you're good at.
No, actually,
I
we
was-
said then to print us a summons. It actually could behoove us, but the thing is, then we should go prepared, and we should say, this is the kind of sign that we'd like to have, and this is how much it's gonna cost, and how.
I think there must be a sign from the state, because if you look at the different towns you drive through, it's got like a horse.
Yeah, yeah.
In the
you're right.
state.
All right, so let's see, all right, so let me do a little Googling and see what we can do, and how much they cost, and then let's. At our next meeting, whenever we meet, let's talk about that, so let's see.
Well, I think we ought to talk to them
I agree.
next week.
I think
over
we should
this.
talk to them.
All
Yeah,
right,
I think rather than just asking for signs, I mean, having that, but, you know, having an account to do, it's funded maybe to do a few other things, whether it's information or
Donuts.
donuts.
Well, true, this way, but this way we have a little better arsenal to help when neighbors have problems too, so that's. All right, so I guess that's it, we got.
Next meeting.
Oh, next meeting. And you guys, all right, so today is the 19th.
and we meet
We'll
with
meet
them
on
on the
the
27th, right?
The 11th.
So how about the 17th, will be 4 weeks? I can't do the 17th, well, maybe I can. So we can do 17th is in 4 weeks, and it looks like the town, so you want to meet in 4 weeks, or you want to meet sooner? than 4 weeks? You want to meet right after we meet with the select board, or? we meet in the
It's an
day?
awful lot of meetings. We've gone from
I know.
no meetings to a month.
Yeah.
Well,
Over with.
Well, we can do 6, we can do 6 weeks, we can do May 31st.
Maybe 6
No, I think the middle of May is better, because if we gotta get this meeting that we're gonna have on the 11th, we're gonna get that, everybody on their calendars.
Oh, that's right, the town meeting is the 11th.
Yeah.
No, the meeting at the farm.
Oh, that's
June
in
11th.
June, yes, I know, but when's the
I don't
town
know.
meeting? When's the town meeting?
May 6th.
6th? That's a Friday night?
yeah,
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
we
it
need a
is.
Friday.
There goes that social.
So, so how about if we meet May 6th, we meet after the town meeting?
well, yeah, we have to meet after the town meeting anyway to discuss whether or not this petition passes.
And we also need to
Do.
follow up
if it
with,
did.
because remember, we all have to follow up with number 19. And they were 19, so we need
Well,
to
I'm
all,
waiting for my phone call.
I know, and we all have jobs to do. Which
What's-
are in the
okay,
minutes,
that's-
which we'll have
that's
to
number
send out via text, so everybody sees it.
Okay,
With our job title.
Ellen,
Yes.
what is the address that if I get in touch with,
It is 19, 18
Neck Hill Road.
Neck Hill Road. And that's the one that we want the barn inspector to see, and we want Kevin to also continue following up with. It's 18 Neck Hill Road. And so are we all in agreement? We're gonna meet in 4 weeks on the 17th. Need to nail that down, yes or no?
Yes.
17th. Okay. It's May 17th. Head, all right, got it. All right,
All right, so before we adjourn,
yes.
our homework will be for the June meeting. If everybody brings 3 people,
Oh, okay.
each of us is responsible for bringing 3 people.
I'll bring you.
You can't bring mine.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Better start me.
Maybe we can.
Share friends.
Verify.
If you have 5 friends, you
Yeah.
can ask 2 friends for her.
Thank you.
I think maybe we can make a mention somewhere.
Can we, wait, can we,
That's
before we get silly, can we adjourn and
Yep,
rest
yep.
till we're done with business? Okay.
I make a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Hi.
All right. Bye, everybody.